It's Friday. We made it to the weekend. And this is just not any other ordinary weekend. It's the last weekend of August. Somebody pinch me. We're almost, Halloween stuff. Well, Halloween stuff has been up for like a month in some of the stores. Christmas stuff. I was at Hobby Lobby the other day, and they have Christmas stuff all over the place. And that was a couple weeks ago, actually. So yeah, it's that time of year. Uh, I mentioned this before, I wish I could show this to you. And I really need to. I'm gonna. Well, it's Friday. Let me see if I can download this and play this for you this afternoon. This is a video I'm watching here, and you probably see it on Facebook of the flooding in Nepal. And evidently, what I'm seeing that's happened here with this, which evidently, I need to look more into it. But the pictures and videos coming from the devastation of what appears to be a glacier that broke apart and then fell through a mountain, that hit a river, and then pushed all the way through areas of Nepal is frightening. Now, the truth of the matter is, let's be brutally honest here. Some of the building codes, obviously in Nepal, leave a lot to be desired. They're not, um, built to withstand a lot of things, but certainly the power. But what this does, it shows the power of water. There's been several hundred people that are missing. I would surmise the death toll will be much higher than this as you watch these videos, and it's not AI. I tell you, you watch this, you would immediately think, because of the way technology is, this is AI generated, and that's not. This is real stuff happening that cameras have caught in parts of China and Nepal. And I'll tell you, it's heartbreaking to watch. And as I've said before, time and time again, the power of water cannot be underestimated. We saw that in the flood of 2015 across the Midlands of South Carolina, then down towards the Low Country. What water did there. Whew, nothing is stopping this war. There are stone buildings that are just being, in just a matter of instantaneously, whisked away. And you see people in video trying to run from this thing, and where do you do work? Where do you go? So let's be praying for the friends on the other side of the planet dealing with this. And I'll see if I can get some video and show it to you around 3 o'clock this afternoon. All right, closer to home, we have that southwest wind I was talking about. We had it yesterday, and it's in full swing today. Notice which way the clouds are moving in our satellite view. They're moving from southwest to northeast. So we have a southwest wind here, and every nook and cranny of the state, a little clearer perhaps up in Greenville and Spartanburg, and then towards Oconee County. But south of that, you go through the Midlands down here towards Myrtle Beach, down towards the Low Country. It's showers, thunderstorms, and decent amount of rain. These storms are bubbling up here. One of the reasons I like to show this, and over the next couple of weeks, you're going to see this a lot clearer and a lot bigger and brighter. So when you're on your screen here, I would say not next week, but the following week, it'll be a whole different view for you. I promise you. And one you'll thoroughly, the experience will be worth the wait as we get into the next week. But what we're seeing here, these darker bubbling up of clouds, these are clouds that are higher tops in the atmosphere. So the higher the clouds go with the storm, the stronger the storm is, generally speaking. So this is where we're starting. And then when you have these little bubbles or ripples here, a great indication of things bubbling up. And that's what's happening in parts of Georgia. This activity is headed towards us. So I would surmise that, what time is it? A little bit after 10 o'clock. Really, I'm going to go ahead and say all bets are off after 11 o'clock this morning. Between 11 and 11 tonight, periods of showers and thunderstorms. What may prohibit the showers and storms tonight would be how many showers and storms we get during the day, because the atmosphere can get worked up and worked over. It's much like a prize fighter in a ring, right? Only so many rounds before the prize, the bell is called. So if that's the case, the atmosphere gets worked over, showers and storm chances will pretty much wind themselves down. If it takes later for these things to develop, then the showers and storms will go through much of the rest of the day. But still, nonetheless, I think there is a flooding risk for the Midlands, the PD, down towards the low country today. And we'll talk more about that coming up in just a moment. But you can already start to see the bubbling up of these storms. And for me, who is a storm nut, I love this type of stuff. And it's sort of depressing because we're headed towards fall. And we're not going to get to see the summer storms bubble up like that. And it's just some sort of, so for me, it's like, this is Christmas. And it's like, Christmas is going to come to an end, Tim. So that's the way that it is. I have to wait till next summer. All right, let me put my eyeballs on so I can tell you what's happening here. So let's look at the broader perspective. This is the weather map, as you will. This is our stationary front. This one, remember we had it draped here. That came back at us as a warm front and then boop, faded away. This is the cold front that's coming through and it's basically turned stationary. Pretty typical this time of year. These cold fronts don't have enough oomph to get over the mountains and really make an impact on us. They will towards the end of next month, well, the middle to the end of next month. We'll start to get cold fronts that actually will come on through and mean business. They'll actually drop the temperature and bring drier air. We're about a month away, though, from that, I think. Really towards the end of September, early October. That's when we start to get these cold fronts that really bring in the fall air. Nonetheless, this front will be the focus of showers and storms for us today. So this is today's map. Notice a little trough here. So between the front that's close to us and this little trough, a weakness in the atmosphere, with plenty of southwest wind and a lot of moisture, these storms will start to fire off today. Not expecting severe weather, meaning that I wouldn't be surprised if some of these storms produce some gusty winds. I think the biggest threat is heavy rain today all over the state. So be prepared for that, especially along the coast. We've had days of rain along the coast, on and off. That rain's been heavy. The ground is saturated. So any more rain today will just exacerbate the situation. So just be careful for that. All right, so that's today. Let's get into tomorrow. Here's tomorrow's forecast. Notice the front is in the upstate. Little drier air starts to move on in and sort of pushes the rain towards the east. And that's going to be the case for tomorrow. So I think tomorrow we'll have a chance of showers and storms around the state, not nearly as high for the Midlands, PD, Piedmont, and the upstate, but towards the low country, you're still in the soup here. So expect decent chances of showers and storms, maybe some localized flooding tomorrow. All right, so that's Saturday. Let's do one more. Let's get to Sunday. Sunday, this has the front pretty much meandering here, but with enough moisture, sort of, and I say meandering, sort of wiggling back and forth. It's the wiggle that means the most. So if it wiggles enough to have drier air in, I think by Sunday we'll have at least a chance of showers and storms again before all of this really does move south Sunday night. And then that'll be the end of that. We're going to get into this ridge of high pressure that's pretty much anchored here over the Midwest. That's going to move a little bit more towards the east. Temperatures will start to go up, and next week is going to be hot. Again, I don't think it's going to be as hot as a few weeks ago, but nonetheless, August is going to go out kicking and screaming with the heat next week. So be prepared for that all across the state. I think even the upstate, you could see Greenville, Spartanburg, Travelers Rest. Let me pick up my glasses. Rock Hill, 95, 96. The Midlands could see a 98, 99. And towards the low country, you'll be in the low 90s, but you'll be back with the humidity again. And the heat index will be up near 110, 112 coming up next week. So we'll talk more about that as we get into next week. In the meantime, all right, so let's get to a couple things here. Let's talk about the broader perspective with Dolly. What's going on with Dolly? This is as of 5 a.m. this morning. Here is the very latest. It is a tropical storm. Wind speeds at 40 miles per hour. It is barely a tropical storm. Wind speeds of 39 plus would make it a tropical storm, so it's at 40, right? It is moving off towards the west at 24 miles per hour. That's a fairly good clip. It's moving fairly quickly for sure. Center of circulation for all of our plotting friends, 14.5 north, 44.8 west. Notice as we go through time here. So here's Saturday morning, 2 a.m., still a tropical storm. Hurricane Center has it down to a depression by the time we get into Sunday. Not a bit surprised for a couple of reasons. One, it's going to enter, it's very weak to begin with. It's going to enter a whole bunch of wind shear. So even if this was a decent tropical storm, wind speeds higher than what it is, it's going to run into wind shear. It's going to have, even a strong tropical storm would have a hard time recovering from this much, the amount of wind shear we have in the upper atmosphere. Plus, it's headed right towards Puerto Rico and then towards the Dominican Republic and Haiti. And if it would take this course, and again, even if it was a stronger storm, the mountains in the Dominican Republic, if you've ever been there, or even Haiti, are extremely high. For such a a small island, these mountains go like this. So parcel of the problem is there's two problems with that. One good, one bad. When you have a storm that heads up those mountains, the ascent of lift that you get with those mountains will just produce a tremendous amount of rain and would cause tremendous amount of flooding for places like the Dominican Republic, even the opposite side of Haiti. But what it also does, it tears the storm apart. One, because it makes landfall, and then you've got these tall mountains that just rip the storm apart. So it would be headed right towards the mountains and the wind shear. So all these things on social media that have this thing coming into Florida, then going up towards Georgia, really, that's not going to happen. Just ignore that. Stick with me here. What this will do is be very beneficial for Puerto Rico. How is that, you say? How could a tropical? Well, let me tell you, Puerto Rico is in a tremendous drought. They have not had decent summer thunderstorms and rain for quite a while. It's been a relatively dry summer for them. They're also in the tropics, so obviously you would expect a decent amount of rain. That hasn't been the case. So this could be very beneficial for Puerto Rico. I don't see it bringing much, if any damage at all, maybe a little bit of gusty wind. But what this could do, and I hope that it does, is produce a tremendous amount of rain for Puerto Rico because they need it. So that's good news. I'm sure everything because it's number one, it's not going to be a big storm. It's just going to be a depression. So I'm sure the folks in Puerto Rico are looking forward to come on, Dolly. So there it is. So again, that will have zero effect on us once it reaches depression. Now, it could hold together. If it does, I'd be floored if it does. And we'll have to see what happens after Sunday. But after Sunday, Hurricane Center just basically says, you're done. So, and we'll have to wait and see how that pans out. But I think the Hurricane Center is spot on right about that with Dolly. But we'll watch it. All right, so let's talk about what's going on. We'll start in the upstate and into our friends into Western North Carolina that may be watching. Here's Friday and Saturday's weather, pretty much like we talked about. You have the stationary front here producing numerous showers and storms today. Anytime after about 11 o'clock this morning, look for showers and storms. I'm saying from 11 to 11 on Friday and Saturday. Sunday, this has a little drier air moving on in, and I somewhat agree with that. This basically takes the rain totally away. Disagree with that. I think the drier air will be there, but I do think we'll have some isolated showers and storms for Sunday in the upstate of the Piedmont. So look for that. And then on Monday, temperatures back into the low 90s here and the humidity up a little bit. That's just the beginning. Again, I think we could see temperatures in the mid 90s by the time we get to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of next week. So the wettest of the days, Friday and Saturday. Sunday will have isolated showers and storms in the upstate. So I think if you have any plans outside, Sunday would probably be the best day to do that. All right, let's go to the Midlands today, where the biggest threat today would be flash flooding. We have this sort of yellow dotted outline here, which basically includes all of the Midlands, from Newberry all the way down to Aiken, Barnwell, Orangeburg, Sumter, Lancaster to Camden. Again, it's sort of a bullseye here. And that would be the chance of some pretty heavy rain here. Maybe anywhere from maybe 1 to 3 inches of rain could fall in this time frame. Not everyone will get this, of course, right? But if you do, be prepared for it, because this rain, flash flooding is just that. It happens in a flash. It happens quickly. So be careful for that. Although the National Weather Service says 2 to 4 inches possible. Oh, maybe. Okay, we can go with that. I think that may be a little much, but still, nonetheless, one of these renegade storms could produce a 4-inch rainfall, and a 4-inch rainfall in a short period of time can cause massive amount of problems. So be prepared for that. I'm generally saying 1 to 3 inches. And again, not everyone will get a strong storm. And again, I'm not thinking these are going to be hail-producing storms or tornadic storms. The atmosphere is very moist, very rich, very humid. So I think this is more tropical in nature, which would be gusty winds and, of course, obviously heavy rain. And again, same thing for the weekend. I think Saturday, a few scattered showers and storms, not as many as today. And then Sunday will be a little drier with only isolated storms across the Midlands. All right, one more stop down to the low country where you are. I know you're tired of the heat index. That was last week. And now you're tired of talking about the opportunities of flash flooding. But here it is, this little circle area here in red for the National Weather Service today. They're saying between 4 and 9 would be the best timing for heavy rain. I'm going to go ahead and say really anytime after 11 o'clock this morning, just be prepared for any shower or storm to pop. The heating of the day, 4 to 9, would be the optimal time because that's when the highest temperature, more moisture content, and the chance of the sun doing its thing, heating up and boom, firing off these showers and storms. Generally speaking, here in this general area here, I'm going to go. I would easily say a 1 to 4 inch rainfall certainly is possible. There is a chance in this circled area here, which is just to the west of Hilton Head and just to the west of Beaufort. There's I-95, which would be Allendale or there's Allendale towards the north, Jasper, then into parts of Savannah in Georgia. That could be a 3-5 inch rainfall total in some areas. That would be a lot of heavy rain, but nonetheless, from Charleston to Beaufort, Somerville, Moncks Corner, Walterboro, Allendale, again, do expect the opportunity for some heavy rain today. Temperatures all around the state will be held down today because of the cloud cover and the rain, but it's still very humid and muggy outside. And then tomorrow morning, look out for fog all over the place. So fog is going to be a big issue Saturday morning. A lot of people, do you have a garage sale going on, a yard sale? Let me know where it's at because I want to come see it. Love me some yard sales. But look out for fog tomorrow morning. That'll be a big issue as well. And then fog, actually, I say tomorrow morning, that fog could be around starting about midnight. And could be an issue again all over the state. So the takeaway is today's the wettest day around the state, no doubt about it. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, some with heavy rain, possibility of localized flooding in some of these storms. We'll keep you posted here on our Facebook site. I'll let you know what's going on with that. If there's any bulletins or stuff, we'll post that. Saturday, little drier, but still some scattered showers and storms around. And then Sunday will be the driest day of the weekend with only isolated showers or storms. And then the heat is back for us as we get into the next week. All right, I'll see you at 3. 3, we'll talk more about our tropics, see what any news with Dolly, what's going on with that, anything else brewing. And I'll see if I can grab that video of the flooding in Nepal and see if I can show that to you because it's just, it's heartbreaking. So we'll do that coming around 3 today. In the meantime, look out for the showers and the storms and be careful. That's your forecast. See you this afternoon.